History is important because you can learn from it. You can learn how to live your life from it. You can learn how to make decisions from it. I am George Au Jr. I lived my early years in Santa Cruz, Chinatown. I was always interested in the history. I never thought it was going to be told. This is Qingming, also called Grave Sweeping Day, when Chinese families would go to the graveyard and spruce up around the markers of their families, and also to remember their ancestors, because that's the most important thing that a Chinese person can do.
My name is Sophie Cornish, and I'm a senior at Aptos High School. I'm half Chinese, a sixth-generation Chinese American, and born and raised here in Santa Cruz. Through planning this event, I've gotten to connect with Asian American high school students across the county, and it has been heartwarming to see their support and enthusiasm for this cultural event. I believe that had I known about the extensive history of the Chinese in Santa Cruz earlier, I would not have felt as ashamed and uncomfortable with myself as I did for so long. Through the learning of local Chinese history, I was able to find my place in Santa Cruz and took comfort in knowing that I was not alone, as Chinese people have been succeeding here for centuries.
To live in a place and to make any sense of it, you have to know its history. Because if you don't know its history, you are at risk. And you make the place at risk because you want to have people around who say, no, see, we've done that before and it didn't work. Why don't we do something different? You've got to know the history in order to make sense out of the life you're leading now. My name's Sandy Lydon. We're on the edge of the Chinese cemetery in Evergreen, which is just to my right.
Family goes back to beyond the ones that are living now. It goes back to eons of ancestors. That's what we believe.
I've grown up hearing stories of my Chinese ancestors' resilience and resourcefulness in the face of unrelenting discrimination and adversity, and I saw these stories reflected in the Chinese pioneers of Old Santa Cruz. Chinese people first arrived in Santa Cruz in the mid to late 18th century, and they quickly became an integral part of Santa Cruz and its development. They risked their lives building the railroads and worked tirelessly in fields and gardens and along the wharfs to feed the community.
Wherever you live, this is your home. No matter what color you are, we are all part of what makes history happen, because we all live here and share all this space as one together. For me to learn this part of the history make me feel so much more connected to Santa Cruz.
I think it's super cool actually that I haven't heard some of these stories and some of the practices that were brought over or developed out of necessity to honor the dead and just generally respect ancestors, and I think it's a really cool opportunity here to learn about all that.
It is through community events like these that the younger generation of Chinese residents in Santa Cruz will be able to find their place in their community. This event will also serve as a place for us all to honor the sacrifices that the Chinese endured to create the town we are lucky enough to call our home, as well as appreciate and maintain Evergreen Cemetery with all the important history that it holds. I want to extend this feeling of belonging so that the younger generation of Chinese residents in Santa Cruz will not have to feel the alienation that I did. And I hope through the continuation of events like these, children and adults alike can look locally to Santa Cruz to celebrate and learn about their culture and not feel like their only resources are online or over the hill.
If you know history and you know the story of the world and you know the story of your country, of your state, of your community and your family, then you are so far ahead of the game. You are a wise person. You have tools to use that can get you out of any situation, put you into a good situation, and allow you to fulfill your dreams, your hopes, your aspirations, your goals.